Okay, problem 8. Find a polynomial whose roots are 3 and 2i. Well, one of the things that we absolutely have to remember is that 2i would never happen without negative 2i. Remember, complex roots come in pairs. So if 2i is a root, so is negative 2i. Okay? Now, if I tell you that 3 is a root, what factor would that have come from? X minus 3. And the same of 2i and negative 2i. So we call this the linear factorization. These would be the linear factors, the x factors that would produce these answers. Would you agree with that? So to get the polynomial, we're just going to multiply all this together, and that's going to be x cubed or whatever. Always start with these guys because they're conjugates, things will cancel. You'll get the right answer no matter what. It's just easier to start here. So we have x squared plus 4 times x minus 3. So x cubed minus 3x squared plus 4x minus 12. There's your polynomial. All right? Who else sees anything on mini review? Lauren? 14. 14. Find it. This is what we're doing right now. Find the sine of 5 pi over 3. Some of you, most of you, all of you maybe work better in degrees, so you can change this to degrees real quick. We know pi is 180, so a third of pi is 60, and 5 60s is 300. So we're looking at an angle in standard position of 300 degrees. What is the reference angle then? 60. So negative root 3, 1, and 2. I gotta know my 30, 60, 90 ratios, and I have to pay attention to the fact that I'm in not quadrant 1, which means negatives are going to be involved. I want the sine. Sine is either y over r or opposite over hypotenuse. Either way, it's negative root 3 over 2. Right? Who else? Anything front or back of mini review? Yes? 6. Which one? 6. Right is a single logarithm. Okay, well this isn't very old to us. We are going to write this as ln something. Instead of having 3 logarithms, we're going to push them together and make 1 logarithm. So before we do that, we have to remember that coefficients out in front, like this 2 right here, represent what? Exponents. So that's really a q squared. Then we have to remember that when logarithms are added, the numbers are multiplied, and when they're subtracted, the numbers are divided. So I'm going to have 7q squared over c. Okay, Tess? All right. Who else, front or back? Come on, there'll be something on there you don't know about.
15.
I just did 15, didn't I? Oh, nope, I didn't do 15. 14. All right, so 15, find the inverse of this function. Well, this is an easy function, so you might be able to do this one in your head. But let's go through the steps. Remember, f of x is the same as y. So we're finding the inverse of this, right? Who remembers how we do that? What do we do to find the inverse? We switch the variables and then solve for y. So 6x equals 2y minus 1, add 1, and my inverse is 6x plus 1 over 2. Is that okay?
Yeah, did you write it as 3x plus 1/2?
Yep, same thing, same thing. Yep.
Can you do 13?
13, consider the square root function. Well, I can't consider it unless I remember what it looks like. Air draw the square root function for me, people. Yep, Finley's got it back there. He's doing like this. There it is. That's your square root function. Oh my gosh, Mrs. Ford, you mean I have to remember my BFFs? Yes, forever. Your BFFs. Domain, what's the domain here, this guy? 0 to infinity, and 0 is included, there's a point there. Range, same thing, right? Isn't the range also 0 to infinity? Zeros, those are x-intercepts. 0, 0, there's 1, x-intercept. Zeros are x-intercepts. What's the y-intercept? 0, 0. Would you call this an increasing or a decreasing function? Increasing the entire time, right? So it's increasing on its whole domain. So from 0 to infinity, it's increasing. Does it have any asymptotes? No. Is it bounded at all? No. Actually, it is bounded below at 0, right? It's bounded below right here. Do we go below that? No. It is not bounded above. And so bounded, the word bounded means it's bounded top and bottom, like a sine curve. This one is not bounded above, but it is bounded below. Marin?
Is on number 23 on the back, is that y minus, or sorry, 2 minus or 2 divided by?
2 plus.
And then on that one, right, like previously back to the question when you were talking about bounded, will you write that as y equals 0 or x equals 0? It's like
Y
bounded.
equals, it's up and down,
Okay.
so it's a y. The bounds are y's up and down. All right, got time for one more maybe. Lewis?
Number 17.
The height of a ball above the ground is given by this equation. This is your projectile motion equation. Find the maximum height. Okay, what shape is this, guys? Opening down. Don't we want to find the vertex? Negative b over 2a. So the vertex is at 2 comma. How do I find this part?
Plug it back in.
Plug it back in, and whatever that comes out to be, that is the height, and it happens.
Good afternoon, Cathedral. It's breaking news. The sun is shining for the first time in a week. So if you have solar panels, you're good to go. Amen for the sunshine and for